Good morning, dear students. This is your teacher Neelam Helawat, and we will continue our same topic, that is tissues in plants. I hope you enjoyed the last video and you've understood each concept. Yes? Okay. So let me ask you a few questions. So tell me, what are the different kinds of tissues present in plants? Very good. There are two types of tissues. One is the meristematic tissue and second is parenchyma tissue. And what are the permanent tissue. And what are the different types of permanent tissue? There are two types of permanent tissue, simple and the complex. And in the last video, dear students, we have talked about the simple tissues. Now in this particular class, we'll be talking about the complex permanent tissue. Okay, we will talk about the complex permanent tissue. So your complex permanent tissue is made up of different kinds of cells. Okay, it is made up of different kinds of cells, or we can say it is made up of more than one type of cells. It is made up of more than one type of cells, right? So your complex permanent tissue contains, we can say it is made up of different kinds of cells, or we can say it is made up of more than one type of cells, and all cells have different function. Okay, so the complex permanent tissue has two main types of cells. One is xylem, another is phloem. Okay, as you can see in the picture, xylem and the phloem. So xylem basically transports water, dear students, and your phloem, it transports food. Okay, so xylem transports water in the plants, and we know water is transported from roots to the leaves, while phloem, it transports food, and food is prepared in the leaves, and from leaves it is distributed to different parts of the plant. Okay, it is transported to different you can say parts. I should write it separately. Different parts. Okay, from leaves the food is transported to different parts. Okay, clear? As you can see, it has different components, right? We will talk about these components in the next slide, right? Okay, let's come to the xylem first. So we will talk about the xylem first. Now just look at the first picture. Now xylem is made up of four components. Okay, first is tracheids. This is your first component. Tracheids. Xylem is made up of four parts, four components: tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, that is third component, xylem fibers. So how many components a xylem is made up of? Four components: tracheids, vessels, fibers and parenchyma. Right, everyone? Now out of this, the xylem parenchyma is a living one. जो xylem parenchyma है, ये living component है. It is made up of living cells. While rest all three, that is your tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem fibers, they are made up of dead cells. So can you name the component which is living in xylem? The one component of xylem which is made up of living cells? Very good. Xylem parenchyma. Okay, everyone? Xylem parenchyma. Great. Clear? Now your tracheids and vessels, dear students, the two components, that is your first two components, tracheids and your vessels, they form a conducting system. Just look at the second diagram. ये जो आपके पहले दो components हैं, tracheids और vessels, ये एक तरीके से पाइप सिस्टम बनाते हैं, कंडक्टिंग सिस्टम बनाते हैं, and your water and minerals, they will be transported. Clear? So can you name two components which form a conducting system? Tracheids and vessels. Okay, tracheids and vessels, they will form a conducting system. Water from the roots will reach up to the leaves. Okay, so tracheids and vessels, they will form a conducting system and transport water and minerals from roots to all parts of the plant. Xylem parenchyma, it will store food. ये खाना स्टोर करता है आपका जाइलम पैरेन्काइमा, ठीक है। और फाइबर्स जो हैं वो आपके जाइलम वेसल्स और ट्रैकेट्स को सपोर्ट देते हैं। ओके, दे गिव अस सपोर्ट, दे मेक इट स्ट्रांग, जो हमारा कंडक्टिंग सिस्टम है उसको स्ट्रांग बनाते हैं, सो दैट इट डज नॉट फॉल ऑफ, राइट। सो फाइबर, व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ फाइबर्स? Fibers, they give support to the conducting system. And which component stores food? Xylem stores food. And what are the different parts of the xylem? There are 4 parts. Can you name? Yes. Tracheids, vessels, fibers and parenchyma. So xylem is made up of 4 parts, and xylem parenchyma is made up of living cells, while rest 3 they are made up of dead cells. Now coming to the phloem. So what is the function of phloem, dear students? I had told you phloem transports food. Okay, phloem transports food. Now your phloem also is made up of 4 components. Clear? First is sieve tube. This is the first component. So phloem is made up of 4 components also. Sieve tube, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and what else? Phloem fibers. Okay, it also has 4 components. Sieve tube, phloem parenchyma, companion cells, and 4th is phloem fibers. So as you can look into the diagram, आपकी sieve tube and companion cells, they form a conducting system. Okay, the sieve tube and companion cells, they form a conducting system. They help in transportation of food from leaves to all parts of the plant. So 2 component कौन है जो conducting system बनाते हैं phloem का? Sieve tube and companion cells. Again phloem parenchyma आपका जो है वो खाना store करता है, it stores food, and fibers they give support. Now in case of phloem, dear students, 3 components are living. Means 3 components, they are made up of living cells. Okay, so sieve tube, phloem parenchyma, companion cells, all 3 they are made up of living cells. Only the phloem fibers, they are made up of dead cells. Okay, only the, which component is made up of dead cells? Your phloem fibers, they are made up of dead cells. Okay, they are made up of dead cells. Rest all cells, they are made up of living components. Clear? So this is again a simple diagram of what we have shown in the first picture. Clear? Let's go to the next one. Now, can anybody differentiate between xylem and phloem? Who will tell me the difference between xylem and phloem? कौन मुझे xylem और phloem का difference बता सकता है? Anybody? Anybody who can tell me the difference between xylem and phloem? Very good. Xylem transports water. Phloem transports food. Xylem is made up of 4 components. 3 dead components, 1 living component. Phloem also is made up of 4 components, but here 3 components are living, 1 is dead. Okay, water is transported from roots to the leaves. Food is transported from leaves to all other parts of the plant. So water goes in the upward direction and food is transported in the downward direction. Right? Clear? This is again a very important question, dear students. The difference between xylem and phloem. Then coming to the epidermis. Have you heard this term, epidermis? Anybody who has heard this term, epidermis? आपने epidermis word सुना है? What is epidermis, dear students? What is epidermis? See, all your leaves, your stem, all aerial parts of the plant. Plant का वो हिस्सा जो जमीन से ऊपर होता है, that is covered by a thin membranous structure. Okay, and that is called epidermis. Clear? That structure is called epidermis, as you can see in the picture. So all your cells, they are covered with a layer of cells, and that layer of cells is called the epidermis. Clear? Clear, everyone? Okay. Now, just above the epidermis, there is called a vexicutical layer. Clear? And its function is to reduce the loss of water. जो cuticle present है leaves के ऊपर, ये leaves में से water को evaporate नहीं होने देता, loss of water को रोकता है. And this is very, very important, because if in the plant there is less water, then cuticle will stop the loss of water. Okay. Now the epidermis cells, they do not have any chloroplast. They do not contain only any chloroplast, and they form layers on the upper and the lower surface of the leaf. And their function is, the epidermis helps, it prevents loss of water. पानी का loss होने से रोकता है. And it also stops the unwanted substances going inside the plant. ये unwanted materials को plant के अंदर नहीं आने देता है. ठीक है? So epidermis covers the whole of the plant, and it prevents loss of water from the plant. It stops unwanted substances to go inside the plant. Okay? So first we have a layer of cuticle, and then we have a layer of epidermis. Clear, everyone? Let's look at the photograph. Just look at the photograph. Just look at this photo. You see, these are all your epidermis cells. Now, in between the epidermal cells, these are small cells which are present. Right? Can you see the bean-shaped cells? Right. Now, these bean-shaped cells, they are called stomata. These are the small, minute cells which are present on the surface of the leaf, and it is called stomata. आप देखिए छोटे-छोटे structures आपको visible दिख रहे हैं, like this. So this is called the stomata. Now, stomata is very, very important, dear students. Okay, stomata जो है, it is present on the leaves, and it brings about the gaseous exchange. Okay, it brings about the gaseous exchange. There is exchange of gases that occurs through the stomata. Second, it brings about the transpiration. अगर plant के अंदर excess quantity में water available है, so that water will evaporate through the stomata. Okay, and third, it helps in photosynthesis. So what are the functions of stomata, dear students? Where are stomata present? Stomata are present on the leaves. Stomata are present on the leaves. So they are small, minute pores which are present on the leaves. They help in exchange of gases. They help in, you can say, loss of extra water from the plant, which is called transpiration. And they also help in photosynthesis. Okay. And this stomata, it consists of two cells. And these two cells, they are called guard cells. Okay, these cells, they are called guard cells. These guard cells, they control the opening and the closing of the stomata. ये जो आपके guard cells हैं, ये stomata को close और open करते हैं. Okay, they basically control the opening and closing of the stomata. Clear, everyone? Now just look at this photograph. I have increased the size of the photograph. Just look at this. Can you see this is complete structure is called the stomata. ये जो पूरा structure है इसको हम stomata कहते हैं. Stomata के अंदर दो cells हैं. इन दो cells को हम guard cells कहते हैं. ठीक है? Clear? And these guard cells, they will open a pore and they will close the pore. So अंदर एक opening create होगी. अगर opening create होती है, तो that opening is called stomatal opening. अगर यहाँ पे opening होती है एक, तो उसको हम कहते हैं stomatal opening. Okay, clear? So this diagram is very, very important, dear students. Sometimes you are asked to draw the diagram of stomata. So this is a diagram of stomata. Okay, so stomata, it is made up of guard cells, and in the center there is an opening which is called stomatal opening, and it is surrounded with epidermal cells. Okay, it is surrounded with epidermal cells. Now coming to the cork cells. Have you heard about the term bark? Anybody, can you tell me what is bark? आपने bark का नाम सुना है? Bark means छाल, पेड़ की छाल. Have you heard it? Yes. So that is also called as cork cells. Now cork cells, they are made up of dead cells. These cork cells, they are dead cells. As you can see in the photograph, they are made up of dead cells. Okay? Clear? So cork cells, that is also called as the bark of the tree. That is, we call it as chhal. And these cork cells, they are made up of the dead cells. Okay? They are made up of dead cells. As you can see in the photograph, there is no space between them. इनकी जो layer है वो continuous layer है. It is a continuous layer of cells. Okay, your bark cells, they are continuously, they are one after the another cells are arranged, and there is no space between the cells. So space between cells is absent. Space between the cells is absent. There is no space between the cells. Clear? So cells, they are forming a continuous layer. There is no space between the cells, and these cells, they are dead. Okay? The cells of the cork are dead. So as the plant grows older, जैसे जैसे plant बूढ़ा होता जाता है, okay? So their outer protective tissue also undergoes the changes, as I told you, right? So a strip of secondary meristem replaces the epidermis. So धीरे धीरे epidermis की जगह पर secondary meristem आ जाती है, okay? And the cells of the outside are cut off from this layer. और बाहर के cells जो हैं वो अंदर के cells से connected नहीं होते हैं. Clear? And these forms a several layer of thick cork or the bark of the tree. और इन्हीं से हमारा bark of tree और cork of tree बनता है. So as I told you, these cells, they are dead. They are compactly arranged. So cells are dead. This is a very important point. Cells are dead. They do not have intercellular space between them. Okay? They are continuous with each other. And third very important point. They contain a chemical which is called suberin. Okay? They contain a chemical which is called suberin. This is very important point. इनके अंदर एक chemical present होता है जिसको हम कहते हैं suberin. Okay? We call it as suberin. What do we call that chemical? That chemical is called suberin. And because of this chemical, this chemical prevents loss of water and gases. ये जो chemical है जो present होता है, ये पानी और gases को loss को रोकता है. It does not allow the gases and water to move out of the plant. Okay? So cells are dead. They are compactly arranged. They do not have any intercellular space. And these cells, they contain a chemical which is called suberin, which helps, okay, which prevents the loss of water and gases from the plant. Clear? Is it clear to everyone? Have you understood? Right. Now coming to your notes, homework for today. First of all, you will make notes of this topic. Clear? You will make notes of this topic. You will read the page numbers 72 to 75. आप 72 to 75 page numbers read करेंगे thoroughly. Clear? You will make the important points. If there is anything, any query that you have, you can contact me on my personal number. And you will use a sketch pen. Don't forget to highlight your important points with your sketch pen. Clear? So use your blue sketch pen. Clear everyone? Okay, so that's all for today. Bye everyone.